We did work this background and composite. We did a lot of things. And as the last step of the work, when we do things like this, like painting a lot in one image using just brush, we will have a lot of banding. We saw a tool for see the banding in the image. And again, this should be the last step in your work. Even you should do this after working the skin, after increasing the sharpening in the image. This should be the last step. Let me create a group. Let's call this overall light and color. And when we finish everything, one easy way to do this is let's create an empty layer. For this, I will press Command Alt Shift N. At this point, I'm not 100% sure if this is a native shortcut or I create this shortcut for my own. In any case, you can create an empty layer going to this Add Layer button. At this point, you already know this. In this case, I will use this layer for stamp all the visible layers in this one. For this, I will press Command Alt Shift E. And now the layer 3 contains everything in your image. As you can see, we need to fix this banding issue. For this, what I will do is I will press Command A for going to, Command Shift A for going to Camera Raw. We do have the option to do it without shortcut, is going to Filter and Camera Raw Filter. This will open the layer 3, in this case, into Camera Raw. In Camera Raw, I will set the texture to 0, and I will also decrease a lot the clarity. Let me do something before I do this. I want to show you something else. Let's this layer 3 set it at smart object. So in case we want to change any value we use in Camera Raw, we will be able just with a double click. Let's go again to Camera Raw filter and let me remove all the texture, and let's take a look how it looks only removing the texture. Let's use the visual help, and it is different, but the banding still remain. So I will go back to Camera Raw filter and I will also remove all the clarity, and let's take a look to this image after doing this. Now the banding definitely looks way better, but we are facing a new problem, and this halo around the head will be pretty hard to remove, because no matter if I use a layer mask and I paint with black, when I do paint black, I will have the banding issue. So if you don't care about this, we can live with this solution. In this way, it will be okay. I want to show you different things. First, if you want to repeat the process, because doing this only once you still see the banding, you can repeat the Camera Raw filter, doing again Command Shift A and removing the texture and removing the clarity, pressing OK. And if we take a look, Now with 2 camera raw passes, let's only focus on the backdrop. We do remove a lot of the banding. But again, as we said before, this halo will be a problem. So let's try to approach a sort of solution for this problem. Let's remove these small filters and let's start all over again. Will be easier. Let me delete this layer. I will create a new stamp visible layers and I will do something else. In this layer, I will select the subject. I will go to the quick selection tool and I will select the subject. Now we do have selected the subject. If we paint in here, we will only affect the subject. I will increase this selection few pixels. So I will go to select, modify, expand, and let's set this to maybe 30 pixels. We need a little more. It's not enough. So we will repeat the process. Going to modify, expand. Let's go with 60 pixels. Okay, better. Now, what I will do is Shift Delete for opening the fill command. I will select Content Aware and I will press OK. This is sort of what we need. I want to preserve this selection. Instead of going to save the selection, I will do something faster. I will create any kind of adjustment layer, for example this, and we will have a layer mask with this selection very at hand. This looks like there is no reason to have this layer in our screen, but now if we go to camera raw filter, let's create a smart object, go to camera raw filter, let's remove all the texture, all the clarity, and let's add 1 or 2 points of grain. Let's take a look to this. Let's say we are happy with this banding. Let's say we can live with this. If you don't, we can repeat the process. Let me add a little more grain in this one, maybe 4. And now the image looks flawless. But we are missing the baby. Small details. But we do have a layer mask in here that we can use for this. Of course, we need the opposite layer mask, so I will press Command I for invert this layer mask. As we can see now, we do have the baby, and we do not have any banding, but we did lost all the texture in the bottom part. The good part of this, we can keep working with layer mask. I'm trying to find a way to make this more visible for you. So I will create a group for this no banding layer. I will set this layer inside a group. I want to group the layer just alone because I want to use one extra layer mask. I will select the gradient tool and I will paint with black the bottom part because I only want to reveal the texture in the bottom. I want to preserve the no banding layer in the top. It looks pretty seamless for me. Let's take a look with the visual help in case we need to adjust few more things of the layer mask. First, I'm not entirely happy with this black layer mask, so maybe we can do something like this, and in here the same. And also what I want to show you is how we can make this layer mask with pretty harsh edge softer. For this, I will select the layer mask, I will select the feather in the properties, and I will increase the feather to something around here maybe. Let's take a look. It starts looking way better. Be careful, do not touch the inner pixels. In this case, we could expand a little bit the layer mask and then increase the feathering. I don't want to make lost time doing this. What I want to show you is we can have a seamless transition without any banding, and it's not that hard to get. And the reason of why I did added some grain is without the grain, this will look too flat, and the original image, of course, contains some grain due to the sensor. So we need to be smart and try to match the natural grain. I'm pretty happy with the result. Let's take a look to one of these before and after. Maybe we can use this face image. I don't know, maybe the other one will be a better representation of the original image. I'm not sure. Yeah, why not? So this is kind of the starting point, and this is the composite result. The only thing I do not like is this right side. I would like to have more shadowing here, maybe a little more, I don't know, something more rounded or bigger, but we can say we have done a good job. I didn't want to remove these imperfections because, I don't know, I found it kind of cute, so it added some kind of realism to the shot, and it's not bothering me at all. Of course, these are really simple to remove. At this point, you have plenty of tools to do it by yourself. I do rather to leave some imperfections in the skin, in the backdrop. It makes the things more realistic. But it's up to you, depending of what do you like. I think for the froggy composite, we are pretty good. We learn a lot of different things. Um, Also, we learn how we can deal with banding, even working in 8 bits per channel, which is kind of challenging in some cases. This one, a good example of this. So I hope you learn few things from these videos and you can use it in your own images. See you. Bye bye. Thank you.